Hi students, the last class we have seen about cations and anions. So we have to know the chemical formula and symbols before they use the chemicals and combine them to write the equations. The chapter is about chemical equations in which you write how certain type of molecules are combined with other type of molecules to lead to the formation of new products. So before that, we'll get ourselves familiar with all the available cations and anions to us, and most of them are clearly written in the table in your 9th class textbook. Please, all of you should try to have a look at this. And also, while we are going through any lesson of the 10th class chemistry, you must keep this page open. It is needed at all times. The periodic table that you have with you.
Page number.
And the page number is 132 in the book, and somewhere around 132 in the new book. So old book has different page number, but try to find it. So here I have written a rough diagram of the periodic table to get a note of the atomic numbers. And here we have the 1A, 2A, and then from here you will have 3A, 4A. These are just the divisions of elements. Now in periodic table all the elements are kept in a certain column depending on the type. That means all elements of one column will have similar properties. Okay, this is about, we are talking about set A only. In the middle, in the diagram in the textbook, you can see that there is another small height columns that you have that we call as set B. Okay, we are talking only about set A now, 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A, 7A, 8A. So the elements are written in the form of table, so that it becomes easier for us to understand them, because if I say different properties of different elements, it will be confusing. Better than that, to keep all the elements which have similar properties in one column, and that is what we are doing here. 1A means the elements present in this column, they always love to lose one electron. Now 2A means they always love to lose 2 electrons. 3A means they like to lose 3 electrons, and the elements which are ready to lose electrons easily, those are what we call as metals. That means, you see, copper is a metal, and in copper electrons move more freely. That is why we use copper for the electric wires. Okay, and the copper, in copper what happens is sometimes from each copper atom one electron can move freely. In some copper atoms 2 electrons can move freely. So it depends on the situation. Okay, so the elements in which the electrons can move freely and the elements from which you can remove the electrons easily are called metals. And as I said in the previous class, any element it will try to either lose electrons or gain electrons to get the same number of electrons as 8A. Okay, and that is true only for the set A elements. Mind you, we are talking about set A only. I am not talking about set B. Actually, copper belongs to the set B. It will come somewhere in the middle, in the B group elements. So, even then the copper is a metal, that means it has the electrons in it which are free to move. And at the beginning of chemistry, we will try to learn only about set A. That means 1A, 2A, 3A up to 8A. Now, looking here, I can say sodium doesn't want to lose electron or gain electron. Yes, sodium has 11 electrons. And we say that the neon has 10 electrons. You can check in the periodic table that I told you in the textbook. Neon has 10 electrons. So, if sodium wants to become like 8A, what is 8A? This one? 8A is a noble gases, noble elements that we talked about in the previous class. The sodium will lose 1 electron to become like neon. Similarly, the chlorine will gain 1 electron because chlorine has 17 electrons. If it gains 1 more electron, it becomes 18, which is argon. And fluorine, you see, fluorine has 9 electrons. If it gains 1 more electron, it will become like neon. So here in 7A, this column of elements, what they are doing, fluorine wants 1 more electron to become like neon, 10 electrons it will get then. And chlorine, it has 17 electrons. If it gets 1 more electron, it will be 18 electrons. Bromine has 35 electrons. If it gets 1 more electron, it will have 36 electrons like krypton. So the elements kept in group 7A, they have to gain 1 electron to become like 8A. The elements kept in 1A, they have to lose 1 electron to become like 8A. Now look at 2a here. The two elements have to lose 2 electrons to become like 8a. Like beryllium, if it loses 2 electrons, then it will become helium 2. And magnesium, see, as I said, neon has 10 electrons, and if magnesium loses 2 electrons, it will become like neon, which has 10 electrons. And calcium, it has 20 electrons. If calcium loses 2 electrons, it will become like argon, which has 18 electrons. And potassium, see, potassium has 19 electrons. If it loses just 1 electron, it will become like argon. So, group 1 elements are those which always want to lose 1 electron. 2 elements want to lose 2 electrons. Similarly, the 3 elements want to lose 3 electrons. And 7 elements want to gain 1 electron to become like 8a. So, that's why I write -1. And remember here, when I wrote +1 on Na, you remember in the previous class, +1 Na plus, what it means is, now in this sodium atom you have 1 proton extra compared to the electrons. That means initially sodium had 11 protons, 11 electrons. The same thing I am saying from the last class. If you remove 1 electron, it will be 10 electrons. Now the atom has 1 proton extra. That 1 extra positive charge is written as +1. So that's why the entire 1a group can be kept as +1, because every element in this group wants to lose 1 electron, just like sodium. So potassium wants to lose 1 electron to become like argon, and then this rubidium also wants to lose 1 more electron to become like krypton. So basically what's happening here is, all the elements of 1a want to lose 1 electron, all the elements of 2a wants to lose 2 electron, and 7a wants to gain 1 electron, and here the 6a elements would also want to gain 2 electrons. And then the group 4a and 5a, among these, some of them will lose the electron, some of them will gain the electron, and some of them will just share the electron. So these two separately we will see and study later. And among these two, 1a, 2a, 3a, most of them will lose the electrons. 6a, 7a, most of them will gain the electrons. To get same number of electrons as 8a. So, and these are the few cations, anions that I have written. Among these, some are atoms and some are molecules also. So, here, if for example you have water molecule, if you break the water molecule, you will get these two particles, H plus and OH minus. Now, how this happens, try to understand carefully. If these two are present, that is H and OH. 2 hydrogens, 1 oxygen. This is the water molecule. When you try to break this, obviously they have to go like this, H and OH. But when you have oxygen and hydrogen together, observe carefully, oxygen has 8 electrons, hydrogen has 1 electron. Together total how much? That is 9 electrons. And you can see this number of electrons from the periodic table itself. Oxygen 8 electrons, hydrogen 1 electron. Together that is 9 electrons. And this hydrogen has 1 electron. Now, if they are together and they have 9 electrons, how many electrons extra do they need to become like noble gas? Check here. Neon is 10 electrons. So, if these two together have 9 electrons, if it just gains 1 more electron, that will be 10. So, the OH will get 1 electron extra, which makes it 10 electrons. And this 1 electron, it gets actually by stealing the electron from H. The hydrogen has 1 electron. That 1 electron is stolen by this OH, because the OH actually had 9 electrons. If it just steals 1 electron from this H, you will get 10 electrons. So, why this OH wants to get 10 electrons? Because it wants to become like noble gas. So, to become like noble gas, it had only 9 electrons, just 1 electron it had to steal from here. Now, this H has no electron. Hydrogen atomic number is 1. That means hydrogen has 1 electron only. That 1 electron is taken by OH. So, now OH has 10 electrons. So, what it means is, When water molecule breaks down, it will break into H plus and OH minus. This is one of the example where we are not talking about only atoms as cations and anions. See, because in previous class I showed only the atoms which have either lost electrons or gained electrons. Now I am showing you here the molecules also which have either gained the electrons. Molecule, and sorry, this is the atom, and this is another molecule which have gained the electrons. Now this is also the molecule which has gained the electron. OH had only 9 electrons, it gained one more electron from this H. So totally whatever I kept here, this one, and this one, these are the molecules which have some charge in them. That is due to the gaining of electrons. Now since you have learned some symbols of cations and anions from the 9th class textbook, the one that I have shown you, this page where you have to learn about cations and anions. Now we are going to continue to practice writing some symbols of molecules, because those molecules in turn have to be used in writing the chemical equations. Okay, so this is simply a little bit revision of what we have learned in the 9th class. So I will just say a few names here, and looking at the names in this table, you have to write the symbols of the molecules. Say, for example, I said sodium chloride, let us say. Sodium, the symbol is Na, and chloride, chlorine the symbol is Cl. Now observe carefully, sodium wants to lose one electron, that one electron is gained by chlorine. So one electron given, one electron taken. Obviously there is a bond formation between these two. That means these two are together in a sort of friendship. Those two are together, and together they form the molecule NaCl. Sodium has given one electron and chlorine has taken. The same thing if it has to happen with magnesium and chlorine has to interact. Now magnesium wants to give 2 electrons, because checking the periodic table, magnesium atomic number 12, it belongs to 2A group. So it wants to lose 2 electrons to become like neon. So if it loses 2 electrons, now chlorine has a problem. Chlorine wants to take 1 electron only to become like argon. It doesn't want to take 2 electrons. So what will happen? Another chlorine atom comes here. And magnesium wants to give 2 electrons only, it doesn't want to give 1 electron. So when magnesium gives 2 electrons, out of those 2 electrons, 1 electron is taken by one chlorine, and then another electron from magnesium is taken by another chlorine. Therefore what happens? 2 chlorines are attached to 1 magnesium, and this forms the molecule magnesium chloride. This is sodium chloride, this is magnesium chloride. Now I will tell you here one advantage of periodic table. In the 1A group, I have written hydrogen, sodium, potassium. Now, rubidium, like this. Now, if I know the formula of NaCl, that is sodium will give 1 electron to chlorine and form NaCl. And as I said, group 1A means all of them wants to lose 1 electron only, which means if chlorine has to combine with H, that should be HCl. If it has to combine with K, it should be KCl. Combine with Rb, it should be RbCl. Similarly, in 2A, if magnesium belongs to 2A and its magnesium combines with chlorine to form MgCl2, what it means that beryllium combines with chlorine to form BeCl2, and then every other element, that is including calcium also. Calcium combines with chlorine to form CaCl2. Now this is one more simple advantage of periodic table. If you know formula of one compound, you can use it to find other compounds also. Sodium combines with chlorine to form NaCl, potassium combines with chlorine to form KCl, rubidium combines with chlorine to form RbCl. And if magnesium can form MgCl2 with chlorine, that means beryllium should form BeCl2, calcium should form CaCl2, because all beryllium, magnesium, calcium belong to the same family, to the same group. So this is one of the many advantages that we have of periodic table, where we write all elements which have similar number of losing electrons or gaining electrons together in one place. All these want to lose 1 electron, all these want to lose 2 electrons. Now, if I have to say calcium chloride, what it will be? Obviously, that is CaCl2. That is, calcium wants to lose 2 electrons, because calcium atomic number is 20. If it loses 2 electrons, it will get same number of electrons as argon. So, it loses 2 electrons, and out of those 2 electrons, chlorine wants to gain 1 electron, and another chlorine will gain 1 electron. Therefore, the bond is formed between 1 calcium and 2 chlorines, and this is CaCl2. Now, look here, we have some more molecules which have charges. What this represents is SO4 is a molecule which always wants to gain 2 electrons. CO3 is a molecule which always wants to gain 2 electrons. PO4, which is called phosphate, is a molecule which always wants to gain 3 electrons. This is called sulfate, carbonate, phosphate. Now if I ask you to write the formula for sodium sulfate, Ca. Sodium symbol is Na and sulfate is SO4. The sulfate wants to gain 2 electrons. But sodium can give how many electrons? Sodium can give only 1 electron. See, sodium atomic number is 11. And it belongs to group 1A obviously. Anything belonging to group 1A want to lose 1 electron only. So, sodium wants to lose 1 electron, but sulfate wants how many? 2 electrons. So, friendship not possible between them like this. Sodium wants to lose 1 electron only, but sulfate wants 2 electrons. So, what they do is, since sulfate wants 2 electrons, one more sodium will come. 2 sodiums now. Now, one sodium will give 1 electron to sulfate, another sodium will give another electron to sulfate. Therefore, 2 sodiums are attached to 1 sulfate. So, thus the molecule formed now is Na2SO4, which means 2 sodium atoms are attached to 1 sulfate. Now, similarly, if I say magnesium carbonate, observe this carefully. Magnesium belongs to group 2A, that means it wants to lose 2 electrons. And carbonate wants how many electrons? Carbonate wants to take 2 electrons. Magnesium gives 2 electrons and carbonate takes 2 electrons. So this is clear. 2 electrons given, 2 electrons taken, no problem at all. So this is the formula for magnesium carbonate. One magnesium atom is combined with a carbonate molecule. This is called magnesium carbonate. And this is sodium sulfate, calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, sodium chloride. Now if I want to write aluminum chloride, aluminum belongs to group 3A, atomic number 13. If it loses 3 electrons, it will have 10 electrons total. The 10 is the atomic number of neon. So since aluminum belongs to group 3A, it has to lose 3 electrons to become like neon. And chlorine belongs to group 7A. Chlorine belongs to group 7A. And group 7A elements require to take 1 electron, or they want to steal 1 electron to become like the noble elements. Therefore, chlorine wants to take 1 electron, but aluminum wants to give 3 electrons. So directly their friendship is not possible here. So what happens is, one more chlorine will come, another chlorine will come towards it. Now, aluminum can give 3 electrons, and since every chlorine wants only 1 electron, each chlorine will take 1 electron from aluminum. Therefore, what is the compound formed here? AlCl3, aluminum chloride. How is this molecule formed? One aluminum atom will combine with 3 chlorine atoms. This is aluminum chloride. And all such examples we can write. And some more examples I will tell you. Magnesium phosphate. Now this is a little bit tricky. Observe carefully. Magnesium wants to give 2 electrons, but phosphate wants to take 3 electrons. So, observe. Magnesium wants to give 2 electrons, but phosphate wants to take 3 electrons. So, directly friendship is not possible between them. I can draw 2 lines like this. That is, magnesium is giving 2 electrons to phosphate. But phosphate is not satisfied because phosphate wants to take 3 electrons. Then what happens is, another magnesium will come here. It will give 1 electron to phosphate. Now is the phosphate satisfied or not? The phosphate is getting 3 electrons here. 2 from the one magnesium and 1 electron from another magnesium. Now is this magnesium happy? It's not happy because magnesium, as I told you, it belongs to group 2A. Magnesium wants to lose 2 electrons. It is not happy losing 1 electron. So actually what will happen? The magnesium wants to lose 1 more electron. So who will be there to take that electron? Therefore what has to happen? Another phosphate will come here. Now is this magnesium happy? See here, the magnesium has given 2 electrons. It is happy. But is the phosphate happy now? The phosphate is not happy because phosphate wants 3 electrons. This phosphate got 1 electron only. This phosphate is happy, it got 3 electrons. Now this phosphate needs 3 electrons, but it got only 1 electron. Then what will happen here? Another magnesium will come. Now magnesium wants to give 2 electrons. Now this magnesium is happy because it has given 2 electrons. Look at this phosphate now. How many electrons it got? 1, 2, 3. Therefore this phosphate is also happy now. It's got 3 electrons. Check here. Magnesium wants to give 2 electrons, given. Magnesium wants to give 2 electrons, given. Magnesium wants to give 2 electrons, given. Phosphate wants 3 electrons taken. Phosphate wants 3 electrons taken. Now, therefore, what molecule is formed here? For the formation of this molecule, 1 magnesium and 1 phosphate is not enough. For the friendship between these, 3 magnesium atoms should combine with 2 phosphate molecules. So what is the molecule formed now? That is Mg. How many Mg's are there? 3. Mg3 phosphate. Since all of this phosphate is one structure, we put it in a bracket. How many phosphates are there? 2. This is what we pronounce as taken twice. Mg3PO4 taken twice. What is the meaning of that? 3 magnesium atoms are attached to 2 phosphate molecules. And instead of going through all this, there is one small shortcut that I can say. Observe carefully. Mg plus 2. And phosphate, what do we write? PO4 minus 3. I can just cross these numbers and write it blindly like a shortcut. Now I can simply write Mg3 PO4 taken twice. What I have done here? Phosphate wants to take 3 electrons. Magnesium wants to give 2 electrons. I just cross the numbers. 3 I have kept here, 2 I have kept here. Over. Simple. So whatever happens here, this little bit complicated one, you can just write it as a blind tree.